I've had it for a couple of months now, and I think it's about time we have a little word about the TTArtisan Autofocus 17mm F1.8 for Fujifilm. Currently testing it on my XE5, as you can read, wide open. So I'm going to jump out of the frame, see how it fares with the autofocus at the standard settings, AFC. Let's see how close we can get. Yeah, so this is the only lens of its spec for Fujifilm, so there's that. It's about £150, which in 2026 is possibly going to be impressive. We shall see. And thirdly, clearly I'm using it with the 40 megapixel sensor. Is that sensible? We're going to find out, but first we're going to have a little look at it up close in the studio. Let's crack on. So we've got the user manual and the warranty card. It's all business as usual. Silica gel, yeah, and the lens itself, which is all metal, including the hood. Very interesting. As I thought, USB-C firmware updates via the cap. No weather sealing. Just take that off. Pinch cap. 52mm filter thread. 18cm minimum focusing. There's an STM focus motor in there, so stepping motor. As you can see, we've just got the manual focus ring, no aperture ring, although the aperture does run from f1.8 to f16. Inside we have 6 diaphragm blades, 14 elements in 10 groups, an angle of view then of 81 degrees, full frame equivalence 25.5. That's all we need to talk about really. The weight, obviously, as this is, or is it, the Air series, because there's no Air branding on here, but there is on some of their marketing material. In fact, there's no Air branding at all on the box anywhere. And in here, I would have to guess that there isn't either. At least it's a bit better in the instructions. But yeah, it's light, 161 grams, as you'd expect. I reckon I had some beef with that Air thing. Let's get it on the camera and have some fun. Well, we already have in the intro, but you know what I mean. I've had this lens for about 3 months now, so how do I feel about the build and the handling? Well, everything fits and feels, let's say, built to last. I really like the fact that it's all metal, including the hood. I even think the lens looks the part on my XE5. It's just a shame there's not that much to it, which is kind of the point of this range. But I think we need to start seeing aperture rings on the base level gear now. It's that time, people. Autofocus is pretty good for a budget X-mount lens when used on my XE5. But how about the image quality? Is 40 megapixels too much for this little cheapo? Wide open center sharpness is not bad, but the edges are noticeably soft. I'd say center sharpness reaches its best at f4 and the edges at 5.6, and the lens overall performs best image quality wise at f8. And then once you go past f11, diffraction sets in. In some situations, there is a problem with purple and green color fringing up till about f4. Vignetting at f1.8 is heavy. Stop down to about f4 and the vignetting mostly disappears. There's also a mild amount of barrel distortion. Flare is a little problematic when shooting directly into the sun or with harsh street lights. When stopped down to f8 or f11, you can get some decent 6-point sun stars though. Now wide open, the bokeh is fairly smooth but can get a bit nervous or busy towards the edges of the frame. And you've probably noticed, but close up, wide open is an absolute nightmare. But you might find some fun in it anyway. All said and done, the lens obviously has character. Notable vignetting wide open, requires stopping down for landscape level corner sharpness, but it is cheap in today's market. So is it worth it? The lens is currently retailing at £149, so is it worth buying if you're strapped for cash? If you want a 17mm prime with autofocus for your Fujifilm gear, this is your only choice. So, you know, if you're not worried about the ultimate in image quality, you just need something small, light, easy to shoot with at 17mm. This is good value, especially in 2026. It is probably better suited to a 26 megapixel sensor though, but that's a conversation for another day. Or for the comments, let us know what you think, and I'll see you there.